Hi everyone, it's Adrian. This is going to be a quick walkthrough of the 1986 version of the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, as well as the revised edition or the newer edition. So I say 1986 because that's what it says on the copyright extra card, and I'll show that in a minute or maybe a couple minutes depending on how much I talk. But on the pictures, it shows different dates, so I'm assuming it's when they finished or contributed the picture to the deck. So you can see a significant difference with the containers that I have it in. I don't have a portable bag for my vintage copy yet. I'm still seeing what I can put it in, but I did trim the newer edition a lot, so it's more of a pocket sized. I'll put this aside for now, so I'll give a brief introduction to this deck. So this is a gift to my now husband, John, and it came with this box. I wouldn't be surprised if it was originally sold like this, because it fits perfectly in there. And it's from Montana. There's the information. So I love the backings for this deck. To be honest, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about getting a round deck, just because being a card slinger, we love shuffling our decks, at least for me, and I've heard a decent amount of people say that too. So I wasn't sure how shuffling this deck would be, and also with the size of it. And to be honest, circles are my least favorite shape, but I quickly connected to these decks, and although they are there is a newer and the older edition, they do have significant changes even though it's the same picture. And when I do the side-by-side comparison, you're going to see that. So this has the older moon backing. Now, with the biggest difference that I know with the older and the newer edition is that they changed the sun card. So the newer one has a black woman instead of this picture. So that's the major one. The pictures are slightly different in each deck. So this is the extra card, and it has information about the artists and how to order it. You see the copyright of the 1986 edition. I'm sorry, it's not focusing. There you go. So I'll put this out for a couple of seconds so you can see how much I cut off, which is a lot. Please focus. So this is the newer edition. With this one, it came in on paper, a thick cardstock, so you would be able to, or a thick paper, so you would be able to cut it how you wanted to do that and color it. I think it's an easier method. I haven't seen anybody trim their deck before, but I'm really happy that I did it because it's a nice size and it's really nice to shuffle. And with this one, John gave me the idea of making it my own, or like getting a stamp. I might do different designs. I might just put something distinctive on a card that represents me in some way and how I connect with it. But with this one, it's really nice to have because I'm customizing it, not only with trimming it, but also coloring the the pictures in, which I won't do with this one. And I won't trim this one because I would like to keep it in the condition that it's in. I really love the size, or the deck in general. And John uses this deck too, so he didn't want me trimming it. To add to it, it is an older copy, but to me, if I'm going to use it more, if I do certain things to it, then I'm willing to take a chance and make those modifications. So if you would like to see the size, so it's a big difference. My kind of inspiration was the Mother Peace. I didn't connect to that deck, but I did like the smaller size better. And as for the cardstock, this is, I feel like, more matted down. This is more slick. So I would say that even though this is larger, it is fairly easy to shuffle. This one, you may, like if I kept it the same size, it would be more of a hassle to shuffle, I suppose. I don't want to say hassle because you can shuffle these, but I like the convenience of having it being like palm sized. So I'm going to pause it and start showing some cards. So I'm going to go through the major arcana first. Actually going to pull them up like this. And with trimming it, for people that are interested in doing that, you can see that you will have to cut some of the card off of it. But I did do this about how I felt about the card. So I basically put the glass wherever I felt was right. A lot of times I didn't even look, and if it felt right, then I would do that. I would cut it there. Maybe if I do this, there's less of a glare. And there is a colored version. I might get that just to add to the collection, but I'm not sure how I would connect with it because the colorations, some of them, and you could see that this one, the slickness in the cardstock is really showing because it's shining, but it's mainly the green that they use that I'm not the biggest fan of. Green is my favorite color. I think that's why it's important for me to like it. So I'll give an example. This is the revised book that I got with the newer edition, and you can see that it has the High Priestess on here. So this is an example of the green that they have. And it looks like more of a pine green. I'm more of a mossy green person, or like an army green. I know that's really picky, but I really love the idea of doing it on my own too, because I like making my own projects and I like creating things. And I feel like you'll get a closer connection to the cards. Now the reason I'm just putting them up as I go is because I put them in order, but just in case it wasn't in order, I would switch it up before putting it on camera. So if you notice, there's a lot of changes to the cards. It does have some cards added to it and some cards taken out, and you can notice that in the major arcana especially. I love the imagery on here. I really do love the Midwestern look. It's weird because I connect to water decks the most, or fire decks too. It's like one or the other are the most well, the most compatible with me at this moment. I think it has to do with my chart. But I always love the desert. Never been much of a beach person or any type of person, but I like the dryness of it. I'm not sure. I'm still figuring that out for myself. And I love this. There might be some commentary besides me talking. I do love all the pictures. But I didn't realize that it was a picture of a woman, or them on her stomach, until I looked close up. So that was the major arcana. Now going with the flames. When you first get this deck, at least in the newer edition, they start off with the court cards, which is the Maiden, Mother, and Crone. And some of them, the astrological associations, are switched up. Oh, sorry. But even though it's the same deck and a lot of the pictures are the same, even though they're different, it does give a distinct feel for them, but they do feel like they're coming from the same place. And that seems like more of a... I can't think of the word. But I know what I'm thinking about. It's going to be one of those things where I figure it out and then it's a week later. Paradox. I got lucky on that one. I definitely feel mainly Crone energy for this. And it feels like it's almost a nourishing energy for the Scorpio in my chart. I'm a Libra, but I have so much Scorpio. And again, my chart. These two differences are major, and I don't know, they feel like their depictions on these cards are really powerful for me. And that would be for different people, because not everyone's going to feel the same about the decks.